Glad you could join us now. In our first story, the East Legon District Police Commander DSP George Asare says investigations have begun into the case involving leader of the Glorious Word Power Ministries, Reverend Isaac Osubempa, and radio presenter Mugabe Salifu Mase. He says both men filed complaints at the police station after a misunderstanding ensued between the two last Friday. DSP Asare has been speaking with my colleague Ifwa Evans-Chinui, who joins us on the phone with more. Ifwa, what more has the police been telling you?
Headquarters. Mr. Asare refused to give details of what has been happening so far, given reasons that he has to follow protocol by first seeing the IGP and then gets the go-ahead from him to speak with the media. But off record, he mentioned that, they began investigation, which you have already mentioned, into the matter. But we, however, understand that Mugabe Salifu Mase is with the police CID together with his producer. So we're headed there right now to find out what is happening. I hear he's there with his lawyer, George Lowe. So we're going there to speak with him, if he's going to grant us that interview or speak with his lawyer.
Great. Do we have any details about the kind of charges that Reverend Isaac Osubempa and Salifu Mase have leveled against each other?
Yes, Daniel, unfortunately, I didn't get that from DSP George Asare. He refused to speak with us. He said he won't give us details for now, but they're working on the statement both have presented to the police. They are going to present it to the IGP, and then hopefully by tomorrow, early tomorrow, we can get that. We can go there, speak with him, and he's going to give us the details.
Thank you very much, Ifwa. We stay with this story because the chairman of the Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, Professor Paul Frimpong Manso, has charged the Ghana Journalists Association and the National Media Commission to sit up and sanitize the airwaves. Speaking at the back of incessant attacks on journalists, Professor Frimpong Manso blamed the two institutions for their inactions, which he believes has led to the unchecked freedom of on-air journalists abusing the microphone. He says if the two wants to stop further attacks on media practitioners, then they must check what these persons do and say on air. He spoke to Bernice Abube Dulanta on News Desk this morning.
For every nation to prosper, we will need security and safety, even to drive in investors, for the academia, for religion, for arts, entertainment, and everything. So without safety, we are doomed. And personally, I have been worried and disturbed about the current trends. Over the years, we see some of these things, but it has been too much, and it's quite unpleasant. So I think I agree with what the Bureau is proposing and what they are talking about, and I want to engage the church, the media, the civil society, and everyone to join them in campaigning for public peace and safety. So GJA, the first institution, Brother Afremoni, my church member and a good friend, and all your people, you must sit up. In account we say, so if anybody attacks a journalist, we must also know why, even though he has no right. The worst is he should report him to the National Media Commission or even take the person to court, rather than doing that nasty thing. That should not happen. Also, inform your journalists to practice, to be professionals, and hold the association or the institution, the profession into high esteem. There are a lot of wonderful journalists in Ghana who are chalking international awards. We want to promote that. The second is NMC. I really don't know what they're doing. They should bite. They should come out. They should make sure that the right thing is being done, or the right things are being done. So the NMC, sit up, make sure that the media landscape is correct. We are almost about to start campaign. And I tell you, what I would say that sometimes you don't even have to entertain some politicians the way they will speak. You just have to be blackout on some of these people, so that this pollution, the news that will pollute the atmosphere do not come. But saying that, whether the journalist is right or wrong or sensational or not sensational, nobody has a right to attack any, wound, maim, or kill any journalist.
Away from that, the former special representative of the UN Secretary General Ambassador Ellen Lowe wants Ghana's government to focus on specific training for its security agencies on how to deal with political militia groups if it wants to win the fight. Now, she argues experiences from other countries show that armed groups have different motivations, which present a much more complex challenge, making training crucial. She has been speaking to Joy News on the sidelines of the opening of a senior mission leaders course at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center.
In my introduction, several participants of previous courses have been recruited to various positions, either as SRSD, as deputy, as head of mission support, force commander, police commissioner. So I think they will bring that knowledge and training with them to make that, if they are appointed for a peacekeeping operation, to make it function better.
There's this growing trend of militia groups, armed civilians who operate for political parties, amongst others, that are threatening the peace of various African countries, including Ghana in itself. How will you propose we tackle that?
Well, that's not really the topic of this course. This course is about leadership training. But that being said, let me say that my experience is from 2 missions, in Liberia for 4 years and in South Sudan. And the challenges are very different in contemporary peacekeeping operations because there are armed groups and vigilant groups and so on. Sometimes you ask, is there really a peace to keep? So it's a very difficult environment, and therefore training so staff knows what they are in for is absolutely necessary.
Still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi. Now, pupils of Ajinukope MA Basic School in the K2 North Municipality of the Volta region would no longer study under sheds and trees where they were at the mercy of the weather. This is because the school has benefited from 2 classroom blocks provided by a for-purpose organization, Pencils of Promise, in collaboration with the K2 North Municipal Assembly. Fred Kwame Asari has more in the following report.
The Ajinukope MA Basic School was established by the community in 1956 and was absorbed into the public sector in 1960 under government control. The school, however, collapsed in 1966 due to lack of teachers, but was revived by the community in 1978. Government absorbed the school again in 1981 and subsequently constructed a 3-unit classroom block to complement an existing 3-unit classroom block. That notwithstanding, the school, which now has a population of 319 and runs from kindergarten to junior high, lacks infrastructure. This compelled authorities to erect sheds to house some classes, while others studied under trees. Deku Edward Kuma is headmaster of the school.
The school has been a deficit of infrastructure for too long. Over the years, it was only 2 blocks which housed the whole school.
Which comprises of how many classes?
3 classrooms.
3 classrooms.
The rest were temporary structures like a tent and another 3 where the school used to have their classes. The government came in and put up this particular structure, 3 classroom units for the school. And from that time, then there is a still deficit of infrastructure, furniture, and others.
The pupils indicated that studying under the trees and shed impeded their academic work.
We don't have classroom. When the rain falls, we used to go to the other class.
We are not happy learning under the shed because we are exposed to the scorching sun, and this affects our academic work.
Nonetheless, Pencils of Promise has constructed 2 and 3 unit classroom blocks to house the kindergarten and lower primary respectively. A 6-seater sanitary facility was also constructed to help improve sanitation in the school, where open defecation was predominant. Pencils of Promise catered for 80% of the construction cost, comprising skilled labor and some materials, while the Ketu North Municipal Assembly catered for the rest 20%, comprising sand, stone, and unskilled labor, which was provided by residents. Freeman Goba is the country director of Pencils of Promise.
This organization, as we said, has been 10 years. In Ghana, we are about 6.5 years. We broke ground our first school in 2012, and we're also proud to say that we have completed 150 schools in 6 years. Apart from the structures you are seeing today, we have also added 105 kg chairs for the kg classroom, 25 tables, 72 desks for the upper and the lower primary, that's P1 to 3, and then 3 teachers' table and an office chair and table.
Susan Rose, who donated a greater portion of funds used to construct the blocks, was installed as development chief for the area. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Ajinukope.
Back to militia violence, and 3 suspects picked up in connection with the NDC's Ashanti Regional Office shooting in Kumasi have been refused bail for the 2nd time. Prior to the hearing on Thursday, March 14, relatives of the deceased Abdul Wasiu clashed with the counsel for the accused and other sympathizers. It took the intervention of the presiding judge to enable the police arrest the troublemakers and restore sanity. Nana Aljima reports.
40-year-old Dauda Ibrahim alias Wayo, Agent Samuel, also known as Rock, 32, and Abdul Ganiu, nicknamed Petite, 37, were in court for the 2nd time today. Last month, Abdul Wasi was shot dead at the NDC party office by a member of a party militia group, the Hawks. Just as happened on the first day in court, family members besieged the premises in their numbers with the intention to assault relatives and friends of the 3 suspects. The judge presiding over the case asked the police to arrest persons who disturbed the peace of the courts. Relatives of late Abdul Wasiu sought to prevent the lawyer for the 3 from entering the courtroom. His vehicle tires were deflated after he hesitated to come out of the courtroom after proceedings. People had to run for cover when powdered pepper was thrown in the air by family of the victim. Lawyer Evans Amankwa feels threatened by the development.
I'm doing my professional job as a lawyer, and I'm disappointed that a family member who wants justice for your family person, for a diseased person, who want to take the law into your hands and do certain things on your own. I'm expecting that the police will arrest the perpetrators of this unfortunate incident.
Family of the deceased explains the reason behind their actions. Some leaders of the NDC are paying legal fees for the suspects. It shows that the party is behind them. We want the lawyer to know these people are murderers and should not be given legal services. We do not have money, and we think they would deny us justice. On the case itself, counsel continued his plea for bail for the suspects with an excuse wife of one of them is pregnant while mother of another is hospitalized. He argued refusing them bail will amount to infringement of fundamental human rights. Judge Mohammed Abbas, however, refused to grant them bail on grounds of jurisdiction. Prosecution led by ACP Ochredako Asumedu prayed the court to allow police forward the docket to the Attorney General's office for advice. He also prayed the court to issue a bench warrant for the arrest of the remaining suspects at large. Lawyer for the accused, however, disagreed with the prosecution's plea, insisting the case would drag if the judge grants the request to send the docket to the AG's office. In the end, the judge declined prosecution's plea on the docket to AG's office and also issued a bench warrant for the arrest of the remaining suspects. Mr. Amankwa says he will go beyond the district court to seek bail for his clients.
To get the record of proceedings from the lower court before we can go to the higher court. So I've put in our application for the record of proceedings. So I know that definitely when it is ready, we'll proceed to the higher court.
The court has ordered police to step up security when case is called subsequently, as hearing is adjourned until 27th of March. Nana Ojima reporting.
Away from militialism, Minister-designate for the Savannah region, Salifo Adams Brahima, says a committee has been set up to investigate violence that broke out over the announcement of Salaga as regional capital last month. He says the move is to ensure a long-term solution to incidents of violent protest over political decisions which date back to the time of the late Professor Mills as president. It will be recalled that NPP youth in Salaga burned their party office and destroyed property after Damongo was announced as regional capital. The minister-designate has been responding to questions about that as the sitting of the appointment committee. Joseph Opoku Gakpo joins us live. Now, Joseph, in the first place, what are some of the other issues that have been coming up?
So, mainly on the issue having to do with the violence incident that happened, he says it's been happening repeatedly in Salaga. He made reference to when the late President Professor Mills appointed a district chief executive to the area. There was a situation of violence that actually broke out. So they are working with the chiefs and other stakeholders so that then the youth don't resort to violence when they have protests that they need to do over political decisions. He's also been indicating that there is a need to manage the expectation of the people because they've been expecting too much following the decision to create these new regions. And he makes reference to the 20 million CDC money that has been given to them and says that, for example, wouldn't be wholly enough in order for them to help accelerate development. But he's hoping to work with the various district assemblies going forward to ensure a situation where the development reaches local people. He's also been commenting on the issue of rosewood harvesting and how it's impacting communities and indicated that he looks forward to working closely with the members of parliament in the area, including the MP for Damongo, who had some experience dealing with that situation when he was DCE, and ensure that government ban on its harvesting is enforced. And also, they are looking into how local processing of the species could be done to help with raising resources to develop those areas.
So, Joseph, who else is designated to appear before the vetting committee?
Right now, Deputy Minister Designate for Aviation, Yao Afo, just walked into the sitting, appearing before the Appointment Committee of Parliament. A little later in the day, the Minister Designate for the Bono East area, Yaka Stevens, who is currently the Chairman of the Education Committee, and also the MP for German South, will be appearing before the committee. And finally, a little later, one other Minister Designate for the Bono regions would also be appearing before the committee.
Thank you very much, Joseph Opoku Gakpo. Away from Parliament, scores of people, including children, have been displaced with no food to eat and water to drink following the renewed clashes between Kokombes and Chokosis in Tripoli over the weekend. One person has been killed in the resurgence of violence in Tripoli in the northeast region. Police says the victim is responding to treatment, whilst 4 persons have been arrested. Here's Police PRO for the Northern Region, DSP Mohammed Yusuf Tanko. Now, with tension still high in the area, we'll bring you that sound later now, but with tension still high in the area, residents have been forced to flee for safety. Many of them, including children, have had no food or water since the violence began. Some of them say they have had to rely on the police officers present for water. A resident spoke to correspondent Martina Bogri.
More than 100 houses have been burned.
So where are these people sleeping and how are they?
Some are in Togo, some of them are in Serkoni and Wuntewe. These are bigger communities. The Gongombe, some of them are also entered Taboba, some are in Togo, some are also in Bunkuru Yoyo district. Displaced, no food, no place to sleep, no shelter. So it is devastating. It is alarming. It is alarming. Even the moments ago, 2 villages are burned.
Do we have children among them, and do we have women among them?
Madam, you will realize that, for example, a Konkomba family with 2 wives, you can be talking about 10 to 15 children. So for children, even if you look at Facebook, people, including police, are posting children. Men have to give them water to drink. Children are there, women are there with pregnancy. They can't walk. How do you walk on Telkom and cross the Togo? That is very, very, very alarming, madam. I don't know the word to use. The situation is very bad. There are few communities left in Telkom. Many are banned. Frankly speaking.
Now, NADMO officials say they have been unable to provide assistance to the displaced persons because they cannot access the area. Alhaji Abdullah Hindu is Regional NADMO Director.
So that from now it is very difficult for us because the fighting is still ongoing. So even from NADMO to even get access to do the assessment is a problem. So not until this situation is normalized. That is where maybe we can get the update. But for now we will not be able to tell exactly what is happening. But all that we know, some communities that maybe we can mention about sector and all this. But we will not be able to tell exactly what transpired over there for right now, because the shooting and the fighting is still going on. Even NADMO are not allowed to even go inside. It's only the security that are inside until this situation is normalized before we can go in.
Now, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Stephanie Sullivan, has inaugurated a shea butter processing facility that will support 600 women from the Geza and Gunda communities in the northern region with economic opportunities. The project is one of the 34 warehouses the USAID and the Global SHEA Alliance have launched together with communities and cooperatives in the last 3 years, creating opportunities for over 30,000 women. Madam Sullivan's inauguration was part of her working visit to the region.
Addressing a gathering at the inauguration, Ambassador Stephanie Sullivan said the U.S. government would continue to create more of such opportunities to partner with companies, communities, and non-profit organizations to drive new opportunities for Ghanaians.
The SHEA industry represents one of the most promising opportunities to export unique and quality handcrafted products made by Ghanaian women to the United States consumer market. This shea butter processing facility and warehouse is a clear example of partnership that empowers women and strengthens communities. These new facilities that we are inaugurating today will support increased economic opportunities for 600 women. This project is one of 34 warehouses that USAID and the Global SHEA Alliance have launched with communities and cooperatives in Ghana over the past 3 years, thereby expanding opportunities for 30,000 women. We will continue to find more of these opportunities over the next year to partner with companies, communities, and nonprofit organizations to drive new opportunities for Ghanaians.
The Deputy Managing Director for SHEA Alliance said income of the women has increased by 46% since the program started in 2014.
Since the launch of the program in 2014, the GSA partners have donated over 73 warehouses, trained over 150,000 women, formed over 70 cooperatives around the utilization of the warehouses, donated 15,000 health and safety equipment, raised over 100,000 seedlings, and then the women participants, they have seen their annual income from SHEA increase by 46%. Our gathering here today is to witness the handing over of a facility that includes a warehouse, processing center, processing machines, improved stores, processing equipment to the Gizagunda women as part of our Sustainable SHEA initiative.
The district chief executive for Kumbungu, Abdul Salam Fatah Hamza, appealed for more of such projects to women groups in the district.
With the increasing demand of SHEA products worldwide due to its natural benefits, the SHEA industry has become very important and provide huge opportunities for economic empowerment of our rural people.
Now, for anyone who loves doing anything by water, on water, or in water, the Treasure Island may be the ideal water fun island for you. Unfortunately, if you missed it, better luck next time. On the third edition of Joy FM's Fantastic Four tour adventures, Joy News' Selenam Ampo takes us all the way to the coast of Ada with some patrons as they share their island experience.
It is brown, and it is a huge treasure chest that welcomes us as we dock on the Treasure Island. For patrons, there was nothing as terrific as going on an island the first time.
Welcome to Treasure Island, where all the magic is about to happen. Have you ever been to Treasure Island? No, madam. So why are you going to Treasure Island this time?
I want to have a feel of.
With our bright orange life jackets buckled, we were eager to zoom off to the island, promising of treasures and exciting water activities. The jet skis, a swimming pool with a water slide, boats and canoes to the Volta estuary, all added to the adventures and joy the island presented.
If you're a thrill seeker just like me, then the beautiful Treasure Island may be just the right vacation haven for you. But the highlight of this island is this water slide. So how's the place been so far?
This is my first time over here, and I think it's very wonderful, and I think everybody should try it, you know. Okay. And like the president said, we should discover Ghana because there's so much things to see here. So.
Nice, I'm having fun, a lot of fun here. I'm very excited. At the pool. Oh, it's cool, it's cool. I was scared, but it was nice. Are you enjoying the place?
I am. So far, so good. But I'm still looking forward to going to the estuary and then also doing the jet ski. Then my expectations will be complete. Okay. But
our activities were not halted by the little drizzle that came our way. There were board games, food, and lots of drinks to spare. For this young girl, the island was so fun that she wouldn't want to leave.
It's been like heaven. It's so... I don't even know a word to identify how this place is. I really...
Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh yes, I'm enjoying.
Would you like to come back? Would you like to come back?
I even wish to stay here.
For that relaxing weekend experience, the island was just what we looked forward to. Patrons of the Joy FM's Fantastic Four adventures could not have enough of this little piece of paradise on the coast of Ghana. Selinam Ampu's report for Joy News.
You don't want to miss the excitement for the next stop in the Fantastic Four tour. It's going to be in Nzulezu, the Western region. Join us for that one.